So let's close it out in the Eastern Conference capsule. Number quattro here, number 4. The Metro 2 and the Metro 3 might be my favorite matchup in the Eastern Conference. It's the New Jersey Devils 52, 22, and 8, 112 as far as points, plus 65 in the standings. And for the New York Rangers, they were the third seed in the Metro, 47, 22, and 13 for 107 points, a plus 58. Head coach Lindy Ruff versus Gerard Gallant. For the Devils, it's silencing the doubters, and for the Rangers, it's looking to get to the Stanley Cup final. I think that's the most accurate thing that you can get, and that's just off the top of the head. And then elite even strength versus elite power play. There are so many idiosyncrasies in this series that we can talk about, but we'll just go in the same order on that side, and then I'll give you my thoughts per usual. So the stats on centerpieces. Jack Hughes, 78 games played, 43 goals, 56 assists, and 99 points. He's definitely going to get to 115, 120 points someday. He just missed out at 100 on that side. Plus 10. Nico Hischier, the captain, 81 games played, 31 goals, 49 assists, 80 points, plus 33. Jesper Bratt, all 82, 32 goals, 41 assists, 73 points, plus 14. Dawson Mercer, all 82 as well, 27 goals, 29 assists, 56 points, plus 22. Tomas Tatar, all 82 as well, 20 goals, 20 assists, 48 points, and a staggering plus 41 for the former Red Wing. Artemi Panarin for the New York Rangers, the bread man, had another good year. 29 goals, 63 assists, 92 points, plus 4. Mika Zibanejad, 82 games played, 39 goals, 52 assists, 91 points, plus 25. Vinny Trocheck, all 82 as well. 22 goals, 42 assists, 64 points, plus 3. Chris Kreider, again, he didn't have a 50-goal season, but he still had a damn good one. 36 goals, 18 assists, 54 points, 79 games for Kreider, plus 21. And Philip Hedl, 22 goals, 23 assists, 45 points, plus 15 for part of that kid line. So when you think about those centerpieces, look, I'm going to just say it to you honestly. I know Devils fans, and maybe Devils Twitter will attack me for this. There's not household names right now for the New Jersey Devils. And again, I know it's a long time ago from the beginning of the season. I remember when the Red Wings, again, that's my hometown team, were able to beat the Devils at Prudential Center, and there was Fire Lindy chants. And then it went to Sorry Lindy chants, and now Lindy Ruff could probably end up winning Coach of the Year. I'd have to imagine something like that for the New Jersey Devils. Maybe even Dave Hextall on that end for the Seattle Kraken, but we'll get to the Western Conference stuff tomorrow. But put it lightly, there, New Jersey is in the best light you could possibly be. You knew that they were supremely loaded with some of the other talent, and all they had to do was have the young players put it together. I didn't think it was going to happen so soon. I'm not going to lie to you, but they're here, and they're really exceptionally good. And on the other end for the New York Rangers, man oh man, when they had some of those games when Cooper Hopkins and I did game 1 of the Lightning and the Rangers in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, man, if the Rangers could replicate any of that stuff, you could see them hoisting Lord Stanley, could you not, on that side? I mean, they're incredible. Their offense is exceptional. They have good defensive pieces, and they have exceptional goaltending. They got everything that you want. This is going to be a fun series. I don't know how long it's going to be, but it's going to be pretty damn intriguing. Premium defense. So let's start with the Devils again. Dougie Hamilton, former Flame, all 82, 22 goals, 52 assists, 74 points, plus 23. 22 goals from the back end for Dougie. That is awesome. Damon Severson, 81 games played, 7 goals, 26 assists, 33 points, plus 9. Ryan Graves is a plus 34. Jonas Siegenthaler, plus 27. John Marino is a plus 21. And on the back end for the Rangers, we know the names. They're elite. Adam Fox, 82 games played, 12 goals, 60 assists, 72 points, plus 28. Keandre Miller, no spitting incidents, please. Stay on the ice, because I think he's a young and up-and-coming defenseman. I always say that about Keandre. He's got a lot of talent. They need him on that back end. He's got a lot of size. He can do a little bit of everything. 9 goals, 34 assists, 43 points, plus 12. Jacob Trouba, the captaincy. He's very auspicious. Some people like to talk about living on the edge, but Trouba plays that way, and he's very effective at it. All 82 games, 8 goals, 22 assists, 30 points, plus 7. Ryan Lindgren, he's been injured, but he should be back for the postseason here to start. 1 goal, 17 assists, 18 points, plus 29. Here's a interesting part that I haven't put in all the other capsules, but I got to do now. New additions, because both of these teams, they loaded up in the Eastern Conference when you had to. It's an arms race. I always call the Eastern Conference a bloodletting. I said it last year, probably even more so now. So this is just from the trades. This isn't all together. So for Timo Meier, since coming over from the San Jose Sharks, it's 20 games played, 9 goals, 5 assists, 14 points, +2. Not bad. Timo Meier had a little bit of a stomach flu illness. He should be ready to go for game 1, they said. Vlad Tarasenko for the St. Louis Blues, 30 games played, 8 goals, 13 assists, 21 points, +4. And Patrick Kane from the Chicago Blackhawks. Again, they couldn't get the deal that Chicago really wanted for Patrick Kane because he's only willing to waive his no-trade clause to one team and one team only. That was the Blue Shirts. 18 games played, 5 goals, 7 assists, 12 points for a +3. So Timo Meier, Vlad Tarasenko, and Patrick Kane, all new additions. Tarasenko was when the Chris Drury deadline stuff was done early for the Rangers, and that turned out to be a good one. I think Patrick Kane's going to be as well. You get a chance to essentially, again, we'll just put this in order here. This is off the top of the head. When you have Mika Zibanejad, Artemi Panarin, Vincent Trocheck, Vlad Tarasenko, Chris Kreider, and Patrick Kane, all within a top 6. That's your top 6. I just don't know how you match up with all that. I get the New Jersey Devils and their defensive prospects and everything else that they've done. A couple games that I've covered with the Devils as well. They love to corral that puck in behind the net. They skate in deep and they make plays and they can get rid of that puck with perfect tape-to-tape precision passes. Both of these offenses can be really, really good. And it should be a lot of fun. But even with that top 6, you just say those out there and it just sends a fear of God, you would think, even for the Devils on that side, because that's a problem when you have guys like that are that talented. So for the goalies, for the Devils, it's Vitek Vanacek, 52 games played, 33 wins, 11 losses, 4 overtime losses, 245 in the goals against, 911 save percentage with 3 shutouts. Mackenzie Blackwood, 22 games played as the backup, 10-6-2 with a 320 and an 893. Here's the wild card for me, because Akira Schmid's been pretty good in his limited time, and if there should be some injuries, maybe Schmid will get a chance, the youngster get a chance to play a little bit. 18 games played, 9-5-2, 213 save percentage with a 922, 213 goals against with a 922 save percentage. He's really good on that end. So if Vitek Vanacek, who at one point Alec Navas said this when I worked some games with him, he said he didn't think there was a better goaltending acquisition than Vitek Vanacek. And I counter with Ilya Samsonov, but I said Vitek Vanacek, if it's not 1A, 1B, those are the situations on that side, and that was an absolute slam dunk for the New Jersey front office. But here is the other problem. Igor Shesterkin still back in the crease for the Blue Shirts. 58 games played, 37-13-8, a 248, 916 save percentage, and 3 shutouts. So 248 and 916 is really good. But last year was 207 and 935. There was times last year when Igor Shesterkin had a sub-1 goals against all the way, I think, until like February or something like that. So 248, 916, 3 shutouts is great. Last year was 207, 935. If Igor Shesterkin can find that level on the ladder for 207, 935, I think even New Jersey is going to have a hard time against the Rangers on that end. Yaroslav Halak, the backup netminder, didn't get a chance to play a whole hell of a lot because you got Igor Shesterkin, but still 25 games played, 10-9-5, a 272 goals against with a 903 save percentage. Here's some numbers for you as far as the specialty teams and what was left as we did before we close out everything in the East. Power play for New Jersey, 21.9%, which is 13th, not too bad. For the Rangers, it's always near elite, 24.1%. It's the bread man feeding Mika Zibanejad near the left dot. Again, if that sounds a lot like Alex Ovechkin, you got it, because it's pretty much the same type of game plan. New Jersey, this is where they're absolutely exceptional. Again, the Rangers are good at this, but the Devils are elite. 82.6% on the penalty kill, 81.2% for the Rangers, which is 13th. Goals for. The Devils also very good. Like I said, they're awesome at moving this puck, getting behind the net, getting in the danger spaces consistently, and creating opportunities. So Shesterkin is going to have to get those stretched and be warmed up. He's going to get a workout. 3-5-2 goals for the Devils, which is fifth. 3-3-3 repeating for the Rangers, near your decimal points, which is 12th. Goals against, it is eighth for the Devils as well, 2.71. And the Rangers 2.63, no doubt to Shesterkin, although he hasn't had the same year he did last year, but still very, very good, which is fourth. So what does that tell you? The Devils are middle of the pack on the power play. They're elite on the kill. They're elite on goal scoring, and they're elite on defense. And on the other end, for the Rangers, they're decent at goal scoring. They bolstered it a little bit with Kane and Tarasenko. They're elite on the power play. They're elite on defense. This is going to be a really good matchup. But here's the problem. Whether this is a cop-out, this is something where I have to realistically give my thoughts, and I'll do that in just a second. Road splits, this is very interesting. Both teams are very good. And I made sure I put this in bold in the notes when you see them when they're uploaded on the site. Road split for the Devils, 28-9-4. Road split for the Rangers, 24-9-8. So you just flip the OTLs on that side. Both teams are exceptional winning games on the road. So my thoughts immediately. Is this the best playoff series? Because I think it might be. This is the most anticipated one. And I'm certainly looking forward to it. But admittingly, I don't know how far this one will go. And I'll tell you why. What New Jersey team shows up? And this is not a slight to Devils fans, and though they might think it is. But I just want to throw this out there, just for preference and everything else that are my thoughts. Again, if you have different thoughts, please leave your comments when all this stuff gets posted up here. What New Jersey team shows up? It's been a fantastic regular season. They've done everything correct. And again, it's kind of almost like the Bruins moniker, isn't it? But New Jersey, they have a ton of young players. They're learning what it means to play in the postseason for the first time. And on the other end, you have a New York Rangers team that want to go a little bit farther than the Eastern Conference Finals. We don't know if it's going to be the Colorado Avalanche, the Edmonton Oilers, Vegas Golden Knights, Dallas Stars, whoever's going to be on there on that side. But the Rangers want to put themselves in a situation where they're in the finals. If they get to the Eastern Conference Finals, I think of that as a lost season for the Rangers brass and the fans. They know what bringing in Vlad Tarasenko and Patrick Kane really means. That means going all the way. When you have Igor Shesterkin on the back end, you have a goaltender that can take you all the way to lift Lord Stanley. You have a Vezina candidate. So what New Jersey team shows up? Are they going to be just feeling themselves in the limelights, or they're going to play loose and free? Because I wonder, because when you gain experience, that's one thing. But to gain experience against a team like this, that's tough. Igor Shesterkin, is he going to dominate? When we talk about his numbers again, 248, 916, 3 shutouts. It's pretty damn good. But again, he was 207, 935 last year. Igor Shesterkin can definitely bring it back toward that level. Can he split the difference? Can he give me like a 220 with maybe like a 925 save percentage and mix in a shutout here and there? If he could split that difference, that might be enough for the Rangers to maybe even have a little bit of laugh in this series. And this is where I might go out on the limb. So who wins this series, and give me reasons for both, as I always do. So for the Devils, if you continue to do everything else that you've done throughout the entire year, be the best team in the world when it comes to being on even strength. When you get a power play, take advantage of it. Continue to lock down on defense. Continue to have players like Jack Hughes and everyone else develop. Hell, you might see Luke Hughes from the Michigan Wolverines on that end alongside Jack. We're not going to be able to get Quinn because he's stuck in Vancouver right now. But maybe there's a possibility where all three Hughes boys can play together. But for Jack Hughes, he's been incredible. For Tomas Tatar on the other end, when you have a plus 41, they have that defense. Everybody's got their system. Everybody plays defense on the back end. For the Devils, they also score a lot of goals. So their offense comes from a multifaceted approach, the Swiss Army knife. If they can continue to get all of that, if Timo Meier continues to get acclimated and Vitek Vanacek has the same type of numbers that he did before, this is going to be a long series. Even with all of that, the Devils might still have to do more. That is the shocking part, but I don't think it should be undervalued. I think that's the correct way to put it. It's shocking to have to be almost 95% to be able to beat a team, but I think that's what it takes to be able to beat a team like the Rangers. Now, can the Devils absolutely mudhole stomp the Rangers? They could, because they're really good across the board, but I just don't see it being likely. There's too many professionals in that locker room. The salvos that they've added with Tarasenko and Kane make too much sense, and Igor Shesterkin's not going to let it happen. If there's some injuries, obviously that changes some things, but I just don't see it happening. So for the Devils to win this series, I think it would have to be a long series. They would have to, at minimum, go 6 games to beat the Rangers, possibly 7 for the Devils to win. Now, for the Rangers, this is where I might be a little bit disparaging toward Devils fans. I have an inkling in this series, as much as it could be my favorite to watch, I have an inkling this is going to be a short series. Because of all the things that I said about the Devils and having to find playoff experience and all that stuff, if there's any moment in time where the Devils find themselves looking up at the limelight, being a little starstruck, not feeling themselves, not being on top of their game, the Rangers are a team that can absolutely dissect you. We've seen that against the. I understand the Lightning were down 2-0, and they said, well, you know what, Rangers, just like Cooper said, we're going to sweep you right aside and win 4 straight games. I understand the Devils are that good, but they can't afford, with all the other young players, to get lost in that limelight. The Rangers are just too good. I don't see them losing in the first round that way. The Devils would have to win a long series. But if the Rangers win this series, I think that they might win this series in 5. I think that they'll dispatch the Devils. I think of all the same strengths that the Devils have, the Rangers might be a little bit worse in some areas, but not by a lot. If you're talking top 5 for the Devils, well, then the Rangers would be like 8 or 9, if you get my drift. They're not falling worse on that side. And the areas that the Rangers are better in, and that experience from other sides, the Devils just don't have that. And as good as Vitek Vanacek is, and his numbers will prove that it's been better than Shesterkin and some of the stuff that I read out to you, I still believe Igor Shesterkin's got another level. He's got to retain some of that form. If the Rangers want to win the Stanley Cup, he's got to retain some of that form, and it starts in round 1. They know the matchup in front of them is the Devils. They look to be upset poised, but I think the Rangers can get it quickly. So if the Rangers win this series, I'm going to go on a limb and say they win in 5. If the Devils win this series, I'm going to say they win in 7. I'm leaning toward the Rangers. Give me that too much experience. I can de facto say it in 6, but I'll put my money where my mouth is. I'll say the Rangers win in 5. I'm going to take them to win the series more so than the Devils in 7. Would it surprise me either way? No, but that's just what I'm going to say. So this one, the series opener, will be Tuesday, April 18th, 7 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be on TBS. I think the only, out of the East, the only things that we've covered today that would really surprise me would be the Florida Panthers taking on the Boston Bruins. I think everything else could essentially be flip-flopped. Again, we'll revisit my picks real quick on this side, and then we'll close it out, and we'll do the West tomorrow. I have the Boston Bruins in 6. I have the Toronto Maple Leafs in 7 over the Lightning. I have the Carolina Hurricanes. Oh, man. I have them in 7. And I think that that's going to be a long series regardless. And I will take the New York Rangers in 5. That's just a quick summary of everything else that we've covered today. I will have all the notes of the East and get all that stuff all posted here shortly. Thank you for joining me here today. If anyone here is here this late on Twitter Spaces, thank you for listening. We'll follow this stuff on YouTube, get it all posted, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the Western Conference. Peace, everybody.